rhythmic clatter of the train wheels has been your lullaby for the entire night. A steady and comforting percussion that carried you north away from the frenetic energy of the capital and toward the misty highlands. Now that rhythm begins to change. The rapid tempo slows to a gentle, rolling cadence, signaling that the journey is nearing its pause. You open your eyes slowly, greeted not by the harsh glare of midday, but by the soft, diffused light of a tropical dawn. Through the window of your sleeper cabin, the world is painted in hues of slate and emerald. The flat plains of central Thailand have given way to the rolling embrace of the northern mountains. Great hills rise in the distance, their peaks shrouded in a thick blanket of morning fog that clings to the treetops like a veil of spun silk. It is a landscape that feels ancient, a place where the earth breathes slowly and deeply. You watch as endless fields of rice paddies flash by, their flooded surfaces acting as mirrors for the gray and violet sky. Every now and then, a lone white egret stands motionless in the water, a statue of patience amidst the green. The train sighs as it pulls into the station, the brakes hissing softly like a command to relax. Stepping onto the platform, the first thing you notice is the air. It is different here in Chiang Mai. It is cooler, lighter, and carries a fragrance that is entirely its own. It smells of damp earth, of rain that fell during the night, and the faint, sweet perfume of jasmine flowers opening to the morning. There is a calmness to the bustling of the station, a politeness that seems to lower your heart rate instantly. You move through the crowd with ease, feeling the weight of your bags, but also the lightness of your spirit. You have arrived. A red truck, known locally as a songthieu, waits for you outside. You climb into the open back, taking a seat on the leather bench. As the driver navigates the streets, the morning wind rushes past you, cooling your skin and tousling your hair. It is a refreshing wakefulness, a gentle reminder of the present moment. The city is waking up slowly. Shop owners are rolling up their metal shutters with a rhythmic rattle. Street vendors are fanning charcoal grills, sending the savory aroma of grilled pork and sticky rice drifting into the street to mingle with the scent of exhaust and tropical greenery. Soon, the vehicle slows as you approach the heart of the city. You see the water first. The moat that surrounds the old city is a ribbon of stillness, dark and reflective. Beside it, the ancient brick walls stand as silent sentinels of history. They are crumbled in places, worn smooth by centuries of wind and rain. Yet they remain steadfast, glowing with a warm, terracotta hue in the growing light. Passing through the gate feels like crossing a threshold in time. The noise of the modern world seems to dampen, replaced by a sense of reverence and peace. The streets inside the old city are narrow and winding, lined with teak houses and overhanging trees that form tunnels of green. Your destination is a small boutique tucked away down a quiet lane. The truck stops, and you step out onto the pavement. The silence here is profound. It is not an empty silence, but a living one, filled with the sounds of nature. You hear the rustle of palm fronds rubbing together in the breeze, the distant crow of a rooster, and the soft chirping of geckos hiding in the eaves. The inn is a sanctuary of dark wood and polished floors. You remove your shoes at the entrance, the cool tiles pleasant against your soles. The lobby smells of lemongrass and old paper. A smiling host greets you with a glass of butterfly pea tea. The liquid, a stunning shade of deep blue that turns violet with a squeeze of lime. It is cool and refreshing, washing away the dust of the journey. You are led to your room, a spacious haven with high ceilings and tall windows that open out onto a lush garden. You open the windows wide, inviting the atmosphere of Chiang Mai inside. The air is still heavy with humidity, a warm blanket that wraps around you, comforting and safe. From somewhere nearby, the sound begins. It is a sound that defines this city more than any other. Bong. A deep, resonant bell tolls from a neighboring temple. The sound is not sharp. It is round and heavy, a vibration that you feel in your chest as much as you hear with your ears. It hangs in the misty air, sustaining for a long moment before slowly fading into the hum of the morning. Bong. It rings again, a steady, meditative pulse. You can imagine the monks in their saffron robes, moving silently through the temple grounds, their bare feet soundless on the stone paths. They are beginning their day with mindfulness, and their bell invites you to do the same. You walk to the bed, the linens crisp and white, calling to you. Although the day has just begun, the travel has left you with a pleasant heaviness in your limbs. You sit on the edge of the mattress, listening to the world outside. Another bell joins the first, this one higher in pitch, singing from a different temple further away. Then a third, deeper and more distant, like thunder rolling over the mountains. They create an improvised harmony, a conversation of bells echoing through the morning mist. The sound washes over you, clearing your mind of thoughts and worries. There is nothing you need to do right now. There is no schedule to keep, no place you need to be. You are here, safe within the ancient walls, cradled by the mountains and the mist. You lie back against the pillows, pulling the soft duvet up to your chin. The rhythmic tolling continues, slower now, softer. It syncs with your breathing, leading you down, deeper into relaxation, drifting on the echoes of the bells toward a peaceful, dreamless sleep. The morning mist lifts slowly to reveal the ancient heart of Chiang Mai. You step out into the gentle warmth of the day, drawn toward the perimeter of the old city. Here, history is written in layers of red brick, and shimmering water. You find yourself walking beside the moat, a square waterway that has embraced the city center for over 700 years. The water is still and dark, reflecting the overhanging branches of great rain trees that line the road, their leaves creating a canopy of lace against the brightening sky. Fountains spray arcs of water into the air, creating small, fleeting rainbows that vanish as quickly as they appear. To your side rises the ancient wall. It is not a perfect barrier anymore, but rather a charming, weathered testament to time. Sections of exposed brick crumble softly into mounds of red dust, while tufts of green moss and small ferns grow from the crevices, reclaiming the masonry for the earth. You run your hand along the rough, sun-baked surface of the wall. It feels warm and solid, a grounding presence that separates the outer world from the quiet sanctuary within. You walk along the sidewalk, feeling the heat radiate gently from the stones, a comfortable warmth that loosens the muscles in your shoulders and back. Your walk is unhurried. You follow the path of the sun as it climbs higher, casting long shadows across the pavement. The city moves at a relaxed pace, a rhythm that encourages you to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to simply observe. There is no rush to be anywhere else. The preservation of the past here invites you to linger in the present. Eventually, your path turns inward, away from the protective embrace of the moat, and toward the geographic and spiritual center of the old city, where the ruins of Wat Chedi long await. As you pass through the temple gates, the sounds of the surrounding streets fade into a hushed reverence. The massive Chedi, a pagoda built of brick and stone, towers above you. It is a structure of immense scale, partially altered by the shifting earth centuries ago, yet retaining a dignified majesty that commands silence. You pause to admire the staircase flanked by Naga serpents, their mythical scales carved with intricate precision. Stone elephants stand guard halfway up the structure, watching over the grounds with silent, eternal stoicism. You remove your shoes to walk the temple grounds, connecting directly with the earth. You feel the smooth, warm texture of the ground beneath your soles, alternating between sun-warmed stone and cool, shadowed pavement. There is a rhythmic, comforting sound as you move, the soft scuff-scuff of feet on terracotta tiles. It is a sound of pilgrimage, of thousands of visitors who have walked this same path seeking peace. It creates a hypnotic cadence, scuff-scuff, step by step, drawing you deeper into a meditative state. The air here is thick with fragrance. You catch faint trails of sandalwood incense drifting from the main prayer hall. It is a sweet and woodsy aroma, swirling in delicate ribbons of blue smoke that dissolve into the afternoon air. The scent settles deep in your chest, slowing your breathing and steadying your heart rate. You watch a monk in saffron robes sweep the courtyard, the motion repetitive and calming, a meditation in movement. You find a quiet bench in the shade of a dipterocarp tree and sit, watching the light change as the afternoon wears on. The sky begins to shift from a brilliant azure to softer hues of violet and apricot. It is the golden hour, and the light transforms the ruins. The rough textures of the brick glow with an inner fire, briefly revitalized by the setting sun. Shadows lengthen, stretching across the grass, highlighting the contours of the ancient architecture. As the sun dips below the horizon, the vibrant colors fade, leaving the weathered gray of ancient stone against a sunset sky. The chetty stands as a silhouette, massive and unmoving against the darkening canvas of the heavens. A calm descends upon the temple grounds, a profound silence that seems to emanate from the stones themselves. The contrast of the darkening gray stone against the last faint brushstrokes of purple light is a visual lullaby, heavy and soothing to your eyes. The air cools pleasantly. The heat of the day radiates softly from the pavement, keeping you warm as the twilight deepens into night. You feel a sense of completion, a satisfaction in simply being present to witness the day transition into darkness. The images of the crumbling walls, the reflective moat, and the majestic ruin settle in your mind, anchoring you in this moment of tranquility. Slowly, you rise and make your way back toward your sanctuary for the night. The sensory details of the day travel with you, the smell of incense and the image of the gray stone lulling you into a state of heavy, peaceful drowsiness. You are ready to rest, ready to let the ancient city hold you in its quiet embrace until the morning bells ring once more. The transition from night to morning in Chiang Mai is not a sudden awakening, but a slow, gentle unfurling. As the deep velvet darkness begins to thin, the air holds a coolness that feels rare and precious in the tropics. You stir from your rest, carrying the residual peace of the ancient city with you as you prepare to leave the valley floor. Today you are ascending. The mountain that watches over the city, Doi Suthep, is draped in a heavy cloak of white mist, calling you toward the clouds. The journey upward is hypnotic. As the road winds higher, curling around the lush, forested slopes, the temperature drops, kissing your skin with a refreshing dampness. The world below disappears, swallowed by the sea of vapor that clings to the teak trees and bamboo groves. Here, the modern world feels distant, filtered out by the thick, white silence of the cloud forest. You are moving upward, lighter and lighter, leaving gravity and worry behind on the valley floor. When you arrive at the base of the temple, the famous Naga staircase stretches upward before you, disappearing into the fog. The banisters are shaped like immense, mythical serpents, their scales intricately tiled in emerald green and terracotta, shimmering with the morning dew. You begin the climb, 306 steps rise ahead, but there is no rush. Each step is a measured movement, a slow rhythm that matches the beating of your heart. With every step, the air grows thinner and sweeter, filled with the scent of wet stone and pine. Reaching the summit, you step onto the terrace of Wat Phra That Doi Suthep. The atmosphere here is thick with reverence and moisture. The mist swirls around the golden chetty, the central stupa that usually gleams blindingly in the sun. Now, in the soft gray light of dawn, the gold is subdued, glowing with a warm, amber luminescence that seems to generate its own light within the white haze. The moisture in the air catches on your eyelashes and cools your cheeks. A gentle baptism of mountain rain that never quite falls, but hangs suspended in the atmosphere. Through the shifting white curtain, you see flashes of color. Monks move silently across the marble courtyard, their saffron orange robes vivid and striking against the misty white air. They walk with deliberate, mindful slowness, their bare feet making no sound on the smooth, cool tiles. They are like wandering flames in the fog, warm and constant. Then the silence is adorned by sound. It begins as a low rumble, a vibration that you feel in your chest before you fully hear it. Inside the main hall, the monks have gathered. The resonant low ohm of chanting begins, a monotonic recitation of Pali prayers that has echoed here for centuries. The sound is ancient and grounding, a deep river of voice that flows over the mountaintop. It creates a protective sphere of sound, wrapping around you like a heavy, warm blanket. Countering this deep, earthy rhythm is the voice of the wind. A gentle breeze sweeps through the open pavilion, catching the hundreds of small brass bells suspended from the eaves of the temple roofs. They chime in random, delicate harmony. The high-pitched ting-ting of the brass bells pierces the low hum of the chanting, creating a texture of sound that is both heavy and light, grounding and uplifting. It is a song of balance, playing softly in the morning light. You wander to the edge of the viewing platform, the indigo lookout that usually offers a panoramic view of Chiang Mai. Today, the city is hidden beneath a blanket of clouds. You are above the world, standing on an island of stone and gold, floating in a white ocean. As the sun begins to climb higher, the light shifts from gray to a deep, bruising purple, and then to a soft, diluted blue. Gaps appear in the floor of clouds, revealing tiny, twinkling lights of the city waking up far below. It looks peaceful from this height, a silent grid of life stirring into motion, while you remain safe in the sanctuary of the clouds. The combination of the cool mist, the scent of burning incense, the deep vibration of the chants, and the delicate ringing of the bells creates a profound sense of weightlessness. You feel untethered, drifting in the sensory richness of the moment. The peace of the mountain seeps into your bones, heavy and soothing. You are here, breathing the same air as the ancients, suspended in the morning mist, held safely in the timeless embrace of the temple. As the morning light fully permeates the mist, you begin your slow descent from the temple grounds, leaving the island of stone and gold behind. The journey takes you away from the manicured courtyards and down into the wild, verdant heart of the mountain. Here the air changes. It loses the thin crispness of the high peaks and takes on a rich, velvety quality. This is the breath of the jungle, warm and humid, settling against your skin like a soft, heavy blanket. You step off the paved road and onto a narrow earthen path that disappears into a grove of ancient teak trees. These are the giants of the forest, their trunks thick and sturdy, rising like vast pillars to hold up the sky. The bark is textured and deep brown, worn smooth in places by the passage of time and the elements. High above, the canopy is a ceiling of broad, overlapping leaves that filter the sun into emerald beams. The light here is not direct. It is diffused, softening every edge and turning the world into a painting of shadows and glowing greens. The path beneath your feet is cushioned by layers of fallen leaves and moss, silencing your footsteps. You move with a slow, deliberate rhythm, conscious of the peace that surrounds you. On either side of the trail, dense clusters of ferns unfurl their fronds. They are waist-high and vibrant, brushing softly against your legs as you pass. The sensation is gentle, a whisper of nature acknowledging your presence. Droplets of morning dew still cling to the tips of the ferns, sparkling like scattered diamonds in the rare shafts of sunlight that pierce the gloom. As you wander deeper into the woods, the soundscape shifts. The chanting of the monks has faded, replaced by the ancient, steady song of the forest. It begins as a low hum, a vibration you feel in your chest as much as you hear. This is the chorus of the cicadas. It is a constant, rhythmic droning that rises and falls in waves, a sonic backdrop that fills every inch of the air. Far from being distracting, the sound is hypnotic. It is white noise created by nature, a wall of sound that blocks out intrusive thoughts and allows the mind to settle into a trance. The teak forest gradually gives way to a sprawling bamboo grove. The atmosphere lightens here. The heavy, dark trunks of the teak trees are replaced by thousands of slender, pale green stalks shooting straight up toward the light. The bamboo grows in tight families, their segments marked by distinct rings. Above, the feathery leaves of the bamboo interlock, creating a delicate lace pattern against the sky. A breeze wanders through the grove, and the bamboo responds. You hear the hollow, wooden clacking of stalks gently colliding, a sound like distant wind chimes made of timber. The leaves rustle with a dry, soothing whisper, sounding like falling rain even though the sky is clearing. The sunlight here is dappled and playful, dancing across the path in shifting mosaics of bright white and cool shadow. You stop for a moment to watch the light play across the smooth skin of a bamboo stalk, tracing the patterns of shade that move with the wind. Ahead, nestled in a small clearing surrounded by the protective curve of the bamboo, stands a small, open-air hut. It is built from the very materials of the forest, with a thatched roof and a raised floor made of polished bamboo slats. It offers a perfect vantage point, a place of rest designed for nothing more than sitting and being. You climb the 3 short steps and leave your shoes at the edge of the platform. The bamboo floor is cool and smooth beneath your feet. You settle down onto a woven mat in the center of the hut, crossing your legs, or perhaps leaning back against one of the sturdy wooden posts. From here, you are invisible to the world, hidden away in a sanctuary of green. The air in the hut is still and fragrant, with the scent of damp earth, green leaves, and the subtle, sweet aroma of drying bamboo. You close your eyes, letting your other senses take over. The humidity feels nourishing now, hydrating and calming. The steady thrum of the cicadas wraps around you, a protective cocoon of sound. You sync your breathing to the rhythm of the forest. Inhale slowly as the wind rustles the leaves. Exhale deeply as the bamboo creaks and settles. There is no rush here. The city below feels like a distant memory, a story told about another world. In this grove, time is measured not in minutes or hours, but in the slow growth of the trees and the shifting of the light. You feel the tension draining from your shoulders, flowing down your arms and out into the wooden floor. Your eyelids grow heavy, weighed down by the sheer tranquility of the moment. The forest canopy above acts as a shield, filtering out the harshness of the day and leaving only peace. You listen to the layers of sound, the closest rustle of a fern, the mid-range clack of the bamboo, and the distant, enveloping hum of the mountain life. It creates a symphony of calm that invites you to let go completely. You are safe here, cradled by the roots of the teak and the sway of the bamboo, drifting deeper into relaxation with every breath of the velvety green air. The morning sun gently nudges you awake, filtering through the wooden slats of the sanctuary where you rested so deeply. You stretch, feeling renewed by the mountain air, but a soft, distant sound calls you back toward the valley floor. It is the deep, resonant chime of a temple bell, striking slowly, its vibration seeming to hang in the mist that clings to the treetops. You descend from the heights of the forest, moving with a lightness in your step, drawn toward the waking life of the city below. As you reach the banks of the Ping River, the air changes. It is cooler here, heavy with the moisture of the dawn. The city of Chiang Mai is stirring, but at a pace that feels unhurried and deliberate. You find yourself walking toward the historic Wararat market, known to the locals as Cad Luang. At this early hour, the usual bustle is merely a soft hum, a collective murmur of a city beginning its day. The mist has not yet lifted from the river, curling in thin ribbons around the street lamps that are just flickering out. You step onto the pavement and immediately notice the earthy scent of petrichor. A brief, cleansing shower must have passed through just before sunrise, leaving the concrete dark and damp. The smell is grounding, a mixture of wet stone and rich soil that makes the air feel clean and scrubbed new. You walk slowly, letting the rhythm of your footsteps match the lazy current of the nearby water. Inside the market, the sensory landscape shifts to something warm and comforting. You drift past stalls where vendors are setting up for the day. The primary sensation here is warmth, radiating from the large steamers and charcoal grills. You stop near a vendor preparing the morning meal. Clouds of white steam billow upward from woven bamboo baskets, carrying the thick, creamy aroma of coconut milk. It is a sweet, enveloping scent that speaks of comfort and nourishment. You watch as the sticky rice is turned out from the steamer, glistening and pearly white, before being drizzled with the sweetened milk. The process is hypnotic, a slow and practiced dance of hands and steam that has been performed here for generations. Leaving the food stalls behind, you wander further into the lanes dedicated to handicrafts. The light here is dimmer, filtered through the awnings of the shops. You pass rows of fabric, the famous indigo-dyed cottons of the north, hanging in long, silent rows like banners of a peaceful army. The air here smells of raw cotton and dry wood. You run your fingers lightly over a stack of hand-woven textiles, feeling the nubby texture of the thread and the cool smoothness of the cloth. There are baskets stacked in towers, woven from rattan and bamboo, intricate patterns spiraling upward. You pause to admire the craftsmanship, the patience required to weave each strand over and under. It is a meditation in physical form. The lane is quiet, save for the soft sweeping of a broom against the floor, as a shopkeeper clears away the dust of yesterday. The colors are muted and natural deep indigos, terracotta reds, and the pale gold of unvarnished wood. Drifting out of the market lanes, you find yourself back at the edge of the Ping River. The sun is slightly higher now, burning off the last of the fog, turning the surface of the water into a sheet of rippled glass. You find a bench beneath the sprawling branches of a rain tree and sit down. The river flows lazily, a broad brown ribbon moving south with an effortless momentum. It does not rush, it simply goes, carrying with it leaves and petals, moving around the pylons of the bridges with a silent grace. A faint breeze stirs the air, bringing with it the unmistakable smell of jasmine flowers. You look around, and see a small garland hanging from a spirit house nearby. The tiny white blossoms releasing their perfume into the humid air. The scent is floral and sweet, mixing with the dampness of the river to create a perfume that feels essentially, perfectly tropical. You lean back, watching the water move. A wooden boat drifts by, its engine cut, the boatman using a long pole to guide it toward the bank. The sound of the water lapping against the hull is rhythmic and soothing. Slap, splash, silence. Slap, splash, silence. Your breathing slows to match the river. There is nowhere else you need to be. The sticky rice is steaming in the market. The indigo cloth is waiting on the shelves, and the river is flowing to the sea. The tension in your legs dissolves as you watch the hypnotic motion of the current. The creamy scent of coconut, the earthy dampness of the pavement, and the floral sweetness of the jasmine all blend together into a lullaby for the senses. You feel heavy, grounded, and infinitely calm. The bells chime again in the distance, softer now, marking the passage of time in a world that feels timeless. You close your eyes, listening to the river, letting the slow, steady flow wash over your mind, carrying you deeper and deeper into a restful, drifting peace. The dawn arrives gently in Chiang Mai, peeling back the layers of night with a soft, gray hand. You have left the banks of the river behind, resting deeply through the velvet darkness, and now find yourself standing before a sight that seems woven from dream and metal. The air is crisp this morning, carrying a gentle mountain breeze that whispers down from the peaks of Doi Suthep, cooling your skin and waking your senses with a delicate freshness. Before you stands Wat Sri Suffin, the silver temple, rising from the swirling morning mist like a glimmering mirage. Unlike the golden warmth of the other temples you have visited, this sanctuary shines with the luster of the moon. As you step into the courtyard, the pale light of the early sun catches the handcrafted panels, sending soft ripples of silver reflection across the stone ground. The entire structure is covered in aluminum and silver, beaten and shaped by the hands of master artisans over generations. You walk closer, drawn by the intricate details that cover every inch of the surface. You reach out to touch a low relief panel near the entrance. The metal is cool against your fingertips, a stark and grounding contrast to the tropical humidity that will come later in the day. You trace the lines of the carvings, feeling the ridges and valleys of the metalwork. Here are scenes of forests and celestial beings, of elephants and lotus flowers, all immortalized in the silver alloy. The craftsmanship is so fine that the metal seems to flow like water, frozen in a moment of perfect stillness. The silence here is profound. It is not an empty silence, but a heavy, reverent quiet. Occasionally, the wind picks up, and the tiny metal bells hanging from the tiered roof eaves begin to sing. It is a light, tinkling sound, like rain falling on a crystal surface, echoing through the mist. You stand there for a long moment, breathing in the cool air, feeling the solidity of the stone beneath your feet and the cool touch of the silver under your hand. It feels as though time has paused, trapped in the reflection of the temple walls. Leaving the silver sanctuary, you walk slowly toward the rain tree gardens, a secluded haven where nature has built its own cathedral. The centerpiece of this garden is a massive rain tree, its branches spreading wide and low, creating a vast, protective canopy that spans nearly 100 feet across. The leaves are small and fern-like, filtering the strengthening sunlight into dappled patterns of emerald and gold on the grass below. You find a woven mat spread beneath the shelter of the great tree. You sit, crossing your legs comfortably, feeling the earth support you. Above you, the canopy is a living roof, rustling softly. They say these trees fold their leaves in the rain, and at night, sleeping just as you do. And now they are unfurling to greet the day. The sense of stretched time is palpable here. The rush of the world feels miles away, unable to penetrate the curtain of hanging branches. A small wooden tray is placed before you. On it sits a ceramic pot and a single handleless cup. Steam rises in a lazy spiral from the spout, carrying the earthy, floral aroma of butterfly pea tea. You pour the liquid into the cup. It is a deep indigo blue, changing to purple where the light hits it. You lift the cup with both hands, feeling the warmth seep into your palms, balancing the lingering cool of the morning air. You take a sip. The tea is warm and soothing, tasting faintly of dried flowers and sweet herbs. You lower the cup and close your eyes, letting the warmth spread through your chest. Here under the rain tree, there is nothing to do but be. The gentle mountain breeze returns, sweeping through the garden, rustling the thousands of tiny leaves above you. It sounds like a hush, a collective exhale of the trees. Your breathing deepens, matching the slow rhythm of the wind. You visualize the silver carvings from the temple, the cool metal, the enduring strength of the art. Then your mind drifts to the massive trunk of the rain tree behind you, rooted deep in the soil, holding up the sky with ease. You feel supported, just like the tree. Your shoulders drop. The muscles in your face relax. The scent of damp earth and green leaves surrounds you, grounding you in this peaceful moment. You finish the tea, setting the cup down on the tray with a soft clink that is immediately swallowed by the vastness of the garden. You lie back on the mat, looking up at the mosaic of leaves and sky. The gentle swaying of the branches becomes a pendulum, swinging slowly back and forth, counting down the moments into pure relaxation. The mist is lifting, but a dreamy haze remains, wrapping you in comfort. the bells from the silver temple chime once more in the distance, a faint, sweet punctuation to the silence. You are safe, you are calm, and you are deeply at rest. The world fades into a soft blur of green and silver, and you drift, lighter than the mist, into the waiting arms of sleep.